Thank you for joining and welcome back to what I have done in Minecraft. If this is your first ever introduction to my channel and or this series and or anything I've done in Minecraft, thank you for the curiosity and or thank you for your dedication. We still appreciate it. We really do. Thank you. So, I'm not going to necessarily build, actually I might be building a little bit of stuff today. But today's more of just a little tour of some of the things I've done in this little series I've made so far. I still have plans on making a few other things, but so far this is what I've done. As you can tell, there's this pathway right here that leads off into that direction. You can see there's a beacon light right there. There is a place right up there, and it leads off into that direction. I'm going to start this way first. Again, I'm not the best Minecrafter out there. I think I'm a little rudimentary, I guess, in comparison to others that have built things within the Minecraft world. But this is what I've done so far. One thing that some of you may not have seen, and if you've stuck around with the series, thank you still. But I added this whole section over here. That's all brand new. I did that within the last few hours. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. We're going to start with the barn. Again, my design for a barn is not like others' designs. Some would say it's a little rudimentary, I think. But this is what I did for my barn. We've got some bunnies over here. They got their own spot. Got some chickens over here. They got their own spot. Got some... Are these llamas or alpacas? Now I don't remember. Anyways, it's a little bit of a rudimentary, basic design, but not too shabby. I'll also have a beacon. So this is what I first started on in this series was the summer home. It's got a full wraparound porch. Oh, what am I doing? I should get rid of these. I should do changing things right now. Let me go back to this real quick. Along with this. There we go. That looks better. I should have did that a long time ago. As you can see, there's another house up there. But then it wraps around this way to the stuff I have in the back. Let's just tour this little home real quick. This is the foyer, I guess. Foyer. This would be a bathroom. A full bathroom. If I could add that kind of detail to this room, I would. I just realized I have one of these in here too. Hmm. Okay. I guess I'll do that for the time being. I completely forgot to do that until just now. Anyways, this would be the next guest room, or the first guest room with a closet. Hmm. Just realized I have just random torches in this room. There we go, that's fine. This would now be the master bedroom. Oh my god, I got more of these fucking torches. I completely forgot I just got random ass torches. Get rid of this torch. Um, that's fine. This would be the master bath. Oh my god. Not too shabby, right? Just a little bit of it. Okay, now we move on to... This would be like the living room. If I could add a TV and some extra cabinetry and stuff, I would. I've got a makeshift couch, which really isn't a couch at all. This would be considered the kitchen. Now let's go outside. I have this little glass outdoor section. Have a little bit of a pool. The scenic falls. As you can tell, I have this whole pathway that leads down to that house over there. And I have that house up there. So let's continue on. A little bit of a gazebo style type of structure that has this walkout platform that extends over this little valley. Hmm. The hell are you doing in there? I have the second falls. Watch your step. This one leads straight to the very bottom of the world. I've also got a tree and a little bit of a waterfall down there. So you can take a mine cart all the way down and then bring it all the way back up. This is where you can pick up your mine cart and take it down. This is my childhood home. This is the home, that home down there. The tree still hasn't blossomed. The fuck? Okay, so this home right here is a representation of the home that I lived in for the first 18 years of my life. Unfortunately, I don't live there anymore. The hell's that noise? Did you guys just hear that? I've never heard that noise before. What the fuck was that noise? Why did that just happen? Okay. Again, not too shabby for a beginner Minecrafter. I don't have an extensive imagination when it comes to what you can build in Minecraft, but I've got an okay grip, I guess, on how to create things. So this was my first home. This would be a 2-car garage with storage space. This was added on later on in like 2000, or was it 1998 or 1999? I don't remember. Now I'm second guessing when the garage got added. Anyways. So this is about an 80% accurate rendition of the house I lived in. This would be the living room area. Family room. Oh, yeah, this would be the living room. If I could, I would have added a TV, some extra cabinetry, maybe a couch or a few chairs. But instead, this is what I've got. This represents the kitchen. We had a little balcony in the back. We didn't have anything like this. I added that. There is a second floor. This would represent a bathroom. This would be the first guest room with a little closet. This is considered the master bedroom. Master bath. Closet space. And this would be my room. I didn't have a closet that looked like this, but this is what I had to build just to make it represent a closet. I didn't have a bookshelf like this either, but this is just about an 80% rendition of the room I grew up in. No, this is not a dungeon. No, it did not look like this. This would have been like the family room. Well, we turned it into a family room. The living room's upstairs. That's where the TV was. This is where the family would gather, mingle, talk. There was a TV down here on this wall for a little while. We had a full bath right here. This was a full bath. This is where the laundry machine and the washing machine were. A little place under the stairs. This is the room where the water heater was. This actually did represent the first garage. This was the garage at one point before the garage above got added on. Now this is more of just kind of a storage room, or you could turn this. We did have some weights in a weight machine in this room at one point, so we kind of used it for storage and working out for a little while. This obviously was not part of it. This is something I just added to the house for shits and giggles, and because I could. What do you want? What do you want? What you looking at? You're a good boy. No, I don't have anything for you. This little section right here was not part of the house at all. I added this little section, this little staircase that leads back up to the front. Okay, why are you not growing? Why is this thing not growing? Do I have to put this tree further away from the house? Is it because it's too big? You know what? Put another cherry blossom. So what'd you guys think of this? Yay or nay? Not that I need to be validated by your opinion. I just want to know. What'd you guys think of my first house? The house I grew up in, and the house I probably would have still been living in had a few things turned out a little bit different. But, c'est la vie. Alright, let's head on to the other stuff I've done. There's a house up there I gotta go to. There's a house on the other side of this mountain. And another house on the other side of this mountain in front of us. I could sprint through this just to make it quicker. Yeah, let's just go. Nah, I won't. It's all about the journey. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? It did it again. Okay. You can kind of see some of it from here. Oh, this is the winter home. This is the home I would put in a winter-esque location, like in the mountains somewhere, or somewhere in the kind of in the woods, kind of a semi-secluded area. I don't know, just because it just has like the homey feel to it. And then there's the cliffside house down there, which I'll come back to. So this is the winter home. This also represents a single car garage with extra storage space in the back. How did these bats get in there? So again, this is also a little small because I had to work with the plot of land that I put this on, and putting it up here on top of this little hill. The this piece of flat land that I put this house on was not as large as I was hoping it would be. So I had to downsize this room just a little bit. So if I could, I would have had like a little entertainment system set up here, the TV maybe, or a fireplace or something. Maybe a little table to sit and eat. This is considered the kitchen area, little pantry. This down here would be considered maybe, oh no, this would be considered like the entertainment space. This is where the TV would go, and or I don't know, a pool table, or just this is where you got to think of entertainment stuff. Let's head upstairs. 2 bedrooms. It's a little closet. Or actually, this is more of like a. I think this is a. This would be a full bath. Unfortunately, I couldn't add one to this side because it kind of cut into the stairwell right here. It wouldn't have worked. And each one has their own little balcony that overlooks. Alright, now let's head out here for a minute. This is also considered an entertainment space area. You could put some stuff out here, depending. Another little balcony kind of area where you could set up some chairs, a lounge a little bit, enjoy the view. It wouldn't be a winter house without a jacuzzi. Too bad the jacuzzi doesn't work. This water's fucking cold. But then you can warm yourself up next to the fire pit. So what'd you guys think of the winter home? Yay or nay? Would you live in a home like this if this was designed to be a real home, or if just in the Minecraft world in general? Alright, let's move on to the cliffside house. Or the cliffside home. So this is by far the biggest home I've built. I don't know if I'm going to be building anything bigger. I might, to be determined. a little glimpse to the inside. Alright, let's go check the inside. This is considered the front door, so when you enter, you get these two little sections off to the side. You can use these sections however you like, for potential library, or if you wanted to put just a random little seating area off to the side, or I don't know, you just got to use your imagination. You got these two sides off to the front door, staircase that leads to the second floor. This place wouldn't be the same without a jacuzzi as well. This would be considered a single car garage. A single car garage with extra storage space and extra storage space. There is some extra stuff I should have added to this place, but I'll do that at a later point. You do have a pathway up there, but we'll continue on this way first. Back into what is now considered the living room space and the kitchen space. If I could add a giant TV, a couch, a coffee table, a few chairs. You got to use your imagination just a little bit. Heading off this way. Okay, why does that door not work? Well, that one works. Okay. This would be just a random guest quarter off to the side. Or if you didn't want to turn this into a guest room, this could be a workout room or something. If I could, I would have had the washer and dryer set up right here. This would be a half bathroom. Not a full bathroom, just a half bath with a toilet. This would be the dining room, technically. It's connected off the kitchen. This would be a little potential wine cellar and or just a small storage area. Alright, let's head upstairs. This would also be an entertainment space. If I could add a pool table, a TV, maybe a dartboard, or even a little standing arcade machine, maybe even a pinball machine or something up here, or a little bar. I would have added that stuff in this area, so you got to use your imagination still. We have this little area right here that you can come out to and enjoy a view. Smoke a cigarette, I don't know. Read the paper. This is the first guest suite, I guess. This is a... Okay. Okay, so why does this door not want to work? This would be the closet space. With a full bath. This would be a full bathroom as well. This would be the secondary guest room, or the third guest room, technically. This would then be the master suite. or the master bedroom. This would be considered a little study area if you wanted to, or a small office, depending on how you wanted to arrange it. Just because there's 3 beds doesn't mean you can have a threesome. It's just to represent a larger bed. Just want to make sure that's clarified. Not that anyone would have assumed that right off the bat, but I'm just making sure that's clarified. This would be the master bathroom. And we have one more. I guess this would be considered the in-law suite. This is where your in-laws would stay if they were to stay with you. They get their own little balcony up here. They got their own closet on this side. This section right here is not part of it. I added this part to the house just because. And then you also have this whole roof access right here for extra storage or whatever else you wanted to put up here. So what do you guys think of this house? Yay or nay to it? Alright, now we're going to go and check out the place I just recently finished within the last few hours, or technically yesterday at this point. Has anyone ever heard of a yurt? Probably, maybe. If you haven't, it's basically a Mongolian style tent. And that's what I built, is a representation of it. So let's go check it out. I recently just finished this, like I just said. This literally just happened probably 15 hours ago, give or take. Not that you guys really needed to know the timeline on when I did this and when it was completed, but if anyone was just genuinely curious on that, now you know. So I added this whole section over here to the yurt. To that thing. There are still some things I need to add over here, so I'll come back and do that at a later time. But this is the yurt. It's got a full wraparound porch. Alright, so for this area, you gotta use your imagination still. I would have taken this quarter right here of the building, or of this yurt, and turned it into the kitchen area. This quarter of the yurt I would have turned into more of like a living room space where you would sit with your guests, watch TV, do stuff like that. But this is what I've done to the inside. So you have your one little guest sleeping quarters over here. This is only designed for like a couple or a single person. This would be the full bath. This is where the shower would be. This is where the toilet would be. You can take shits without anyone seeing you. That's why I put the window right here. You can take a shower without anyone seeing you. This little space up here is just a little storage space area for anything that you would have. So, what do you think about my little compound here? This took me, give or take, oh, probably 3 actual weeks to build all of this. Maybe. Maybe less. But I wanted to utilize the place that I was already at. So this is what I had to do. I had to figure out how to compensate for all of the space needed for everything. So what do you guys what would you rate this compound in total out of 10? And like I said, I'm still going to add some extra stuff. I think I have a few 2 or maybe 3 extra home designs that I want to attempt to build. Where I'm going to put them, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. Actually, I'm glad it just turned to night because now you guys can see how everything is lit up from the sky. Cool. We're so high up in the sky right now, it's snowing more than it is raining. Cool. Alright, I gotta go back down here and add a few extra things. Alright, what am I gonna add here? Put the cherry blossom away for now, put that away for now, put that away for now. Actually, I think I'm gonna go back with the original design. I'm gonna grab Alright, I'll continue with the brick layout. See, I was planning on adding something this direction. And I might still be able to get it to work, actually. I might be able to. I'm probably going to have to flatten out some of the stuff and get rid of a bunch of these trees again. Hmm. Hmm. Like I said, I'm still going to come back to this series periodically. But I think I'm going to take a short break now from the series and just wait until the next game that I've decided to play gets released. I think it comes out this month or next month. I think it's this month. But I think I've done what I wanted to do for now. Like I said, there are still 2 or 3, maybe 4 other home designs that I want to attempt to build. But I'll save that for a later time. I gotta rejuvenate the imagination a little bit. But still though, it looks really, really cool. How they're all interconnected, they all have slightly different shades and different colors. And again, I'm not the best at this. But I attempted something that I haven't attempted before. I think I got it to work. Alright, so I'm going to leave this one here. This is a little bit of a shorter one. Thank you for the dedication. We appreciate it. We really do. We still hope you'll continue to stick around and see what happens on this channel. I've said this before several times and I'm still going to continue to repeat it. We do not plan on being a gaming channel the entire time. We do have other ideas and other things we want to branch out towards. It's also slightly easier said than done. Largely because of the expenses, but that's something we're working at little by little. Anyways, we still hope you'll join for the next one. If not, that is okay. Thank you for joining this one. Please have a good day. Please have a good night. And always, we are still hoping you're having a great life. Thank you. And goodbye, everybody. How do I go first person? Is that even possible? I don't think it is. I can't go first person. Alright. Thanks for joining. And goodbye, everybody.